Good afternoon. I'm Jim Delleman with Group Travel Odyssey, and welcome to our very first GTO Coach and Go. What is GTO Coach and Go? Well, this is going to be our weekly forum where we're going to cover different aspects of our GTO system. We're also going to present to you new information about how to use our system. And we're going to take questions from you. It's going to be basically kind of like our office hours every week. So every week you're going to get an opportunity to see something new. We can review old processes. You can ask us questions, and we're going to hopefully help you to use our system a little bit better and a little bit faster. There are a lot of things coming up in the future that are very exciting with GTO. And one of the new features that we're going to be presenting very soon is our Passenger Manager app. So I'm going to bring Christina Luth on right now, who's going to take you through this process and show you a little bit more about Passenger Manager. So let's welcome Christina.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Christina.
How's it going?
It's going well. So I was just letting everybody know that today we're going to talk a little bit about Passenger Manager, and I'm going to have you take them through a little bit and discuss what it is, how it works. If you have information as to when it's going to go live, that would be fantastic as well. During this whole process, I just want to let our audience know as well. During this process, if you have questions for us, feel free to type them into your chat feature that you have either on YouTube or on LinkedIn. And if something happens that you cannot find those features, you can also email me your questions. So you can email them at jim@gtonetwork.com. And what I will be doing, you might hear the little dings as emails come in. As they come in, if you have questions on the system that you can't necessarily type in, I will make sure to ask them and we will get answers for you. So let's go ahead. I'm going to turn this over to Christina and let us know a little bit more about Passenger Manager.
All right. So it's so great to have everybody here, and I'm excited to show you our newest app that's been built. So Passenger Manager, in general, this app is for managing your passenger data. That's what it sounds like. So I'm going to go ahead and start my screen share. Just give me one moment here. Sorry, technical difficulties.
See, so for those of you who do use our system, even we have technical difficulties when we're going through stuff. So it
wants to just share the screen I'm on. Okay. Sorry. All right, there we go. Okay. All right, so now you should be seeing the Passenger Manager app. Jim, let me know if you can't.
I can't
yet.
Hit share on the bottom. Did it give you the chance to do that?
It's not share it yet.
Here we go. There it is.
All right, you can see it now?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, perfect. All right. Okay, so this is the Passenger Manager app. Right now, this is just the standard default dashboard that when you have the app, you will sign up with. And as you've heard with all of our other apps, it is customizable. So there's different reports that you can have added. And as we go more and more through this application, you'll find that some different abilities will be added to this app. So right now, what you'll see here are just some basic reports, and I will go through them to kind of explain what each is for. But ultimately, what you're looking at is how to manage your passengers signing up for your specific trips. So right now, we just have one trip in here to show as a demo. So if you want to go to a trip and you know the name, you can search right in here. So I know mine is called Test. And just click Enter. And that's going to pull up the trip. All right, so now this is going to be the screen that you'll find for your trip itself. So on this screen, you'll see you can navigate to the Trip Manager trip. You can navigate to the Group Accounting trip. So those are those apps that you might already be familiar with if you're a current customer, or if you've gone through a demo, you might have seen those. So those are applications to manage further the process as far as Trip Manager for booking numbers, group accounting for payments received and made. So this app is specifically for the passengers that are signed up for the trip. So right here, you'll see all of the information about the prices for the trip and the payment plan you might have already set up. All of this is able to be edited. So for example, if I do click edit, you can see that you can change this however you need to. So if you set up a price that you want to actually charge the passenger a different price and that's what you want to monitor, you can change it here and it won't affect anything else in the other applications. We also will be building a feature where you can update the prices by clicking a button in Trip Manager if you do decide to change them in that app. So that is coming yet. All right. And then if I go ahead and just cancel out of edit mode here. So then the other features you'll see are the different items that it collects. So we have passengers. So this is a list of everyone signed up for this trip. Gonna have an interesting one with the Superman and Abraham Lincoln. So this trip here, you'll also see has some counts up ahead. So it is going to track information such as the traveler type. So right now we have student and adult listed in here. If you were to have a child listed, that might also show up as a field called child count or senior. So those are those same types of counts you've seen throughout the other applications in the Group Travel Odyssey system. So, and then you have booked number of passengers, package counts, and then if you are charging them insurance maybe online. So there's a bunch of different fields that can be calculated for you. I'm going to go ahead and open up one of these passengers to show you some different information. So this is all different information right now that we have that you can add to a passenger record. So a passenger is one person. So this would be maybe emergency contact information, birth date, gender, again, traveler type, and then just their trip information. So what specifically for Superman are we charging him? We're charging Superman $700. You can see their allergies and all of that sort of thing. So to show you then, so Superman is one person that might be a part of a group of people signed up for your trip. So if you click this Go to Customer, you will now see, so now we are on Superman as the lead in this group, but you can see that Superman has also signed up Wonder Woman and Batman to travel with him. So, and that's where you'll be able to see on the customer side, this is the group of people. So in the real world, you know, when it's not Superman traveling, you have maybe mom, dad that decided to create a trip account and they're bringing themselves, their spouse, and their 3 kids. So you might see, you know, mom that signed everybody up, that's the customer name, but you'll see all 5 of them and the passenger. So just, you know, that's kind of how that's organized, is between the person signing up for the account and the people who they have signed up for the trip under their own account. So again, on the customer side, you'll also see the trips they've registered for. So right now, Superman has only decided to go on 1 trip. When, as this goes on and on, more years into the future, you will be able to track the number of trips they've ever gone on with you. So if you decide to do promos, let's say you have a customer that has gone on trips with you every year for 10 years and you want to give them a discount. So now with this Passenger Manager app, you will be able to track that. So you'll be able to see how many trips they've gone on. It will be able to count them for you, and you can build reports based off of the number of trips they've gone on, and you can even call them the gold member or the diamond member. When, you know, if there's anything like that that you want to do, those are now options with the Passenger Manager app. And then the one other thing that you'll see on the customer side are transactions. So these transactions will be grouped by the trip. So right now we just had 1 payment made for all of the passengers. So it was a group payment of $300 for each person there. Now, if you need to get back to the trip that Superman is going on, you'll notice these buttons that say Go to Trip or Go to Customer. They are in several different locations. So I'm going to click this Go to Trip to go back to the screen we were on previously. So again, you'll see this is that screen where we have the trip full information. So back to this passenger screen, you can now see again all of the passengers. If you need to go directly to that customer account where you see everyone signed up under the one account or see their specific transactions, you can click that Go to Customer. You can also click right here, Customer Account Overview. This is going to show you, so as you can see, these are only 3 because we have different accounts. So Superman has 3 passengers, but it's going to tell you where they're at for all of their passengers. Are they past due? Are they paid in full? Are they upcoming payments? So you can see Jane Doe has an upcoming payment, but they are current with their payments. Abraham Lincoln has paid in full, and Superman is past due. So that'll kind of give you an idea of across your trip, you know, who are your delinquent customers. And then finally, we have the transactions. So this is the same transaction list like we showed on the customer side, except this is transactions across all of the customers that are on this specific trip. So this will also allow you to break down fees. So you have your trip installments that have been paid, what's actually paid by customers, any fees that were charged, like if credit card processing fees, and then how much you've actually net collected. So this will kind of help you with those accounting reports. And again, another feature we will be adding is to be able to click a button on this side to send the information collected to the group accounting app, so that updates for you as far as what you've collected. And then the same thing again, there will be a button coming where you can update your counts, your student, your adult, and even your room counts will be able to be updated to Trip Manager from the Passenger Manager app. So if you are using our partner, WeTravel, for your booking needs for passengers, this is a great app for that. We already have it connected to WeTravel. So this is a big part of what will help you with managing the data coming from WeTravel and putting it into the Trip Manager and group accounting systems. So again, those buttons are coming yet. All right, and then just to show you back on the home screen, we already have a few reports ready to go for you that are already built. So right up front, you'll see the whole report for this delinquency report. So this is across all of your trips. Again, we just have one in here. It'll show you the individuals who are either have an upcoming payment or past due. So anybody paid in full won't show. But what this will allow you to do is you can actually just run this report. You can go to the full report just like you can any other app. And you can download it. So you have it to an Excel spreadsheet. So you can send an email out. And that way you can just do your past dues a lot faster. And then down here, we just have our current trips, which is just a listing there of any trips you're currently monitoring. And then a booking deadlines calendar, which I'm going to go back to June since that's the only one that's in here right now. So what you'll see is when you have many trips in here is how you have this little marker here for the test account trip. You'll see them marked where the booking deadline is. So if you are using WeTravel, you'll be familiar with this term. It is a field that they label. So this is that deadline of when you want individuals to be fully booked in the system. So this will allow you to keep track of those dates so you don't miss any and then have those people in your waiting list. So that is going to be helpful for you to keep track of that. And then again, we have some reports up here that kind of do what they say. So a processing fees reconciliation. So this allows you to keep track of the different fees that are charged for maybe a credit card use or ACH. Again, if you use WeTravel, they do have fees that they charge. So all of those fees are delineated again in the direct connection. So you'll be able to click this and see the breakdown of the fees. So if I click it, you'll see how you have the different fees that specifically WeTravel does charge. And then we have trip funds collected. So this is a report that shows you across all of your trips how much you've collected to date across all of your passengers. Where are you at with your counts? How many have canceled? And when is the next due date? So this is kind of just to have a broad look at what is your income looking at and what can I expect my next round of payments to be collected. So to just kind of give you an overview. Again, we're going to go home. And then these here are just some general ones that we've heard that some people might want. So an insurance reconciliation report. So we have some fields in here that ask, did you want insurance or not? And then if you had used, specifically on WeTravel, they had an add-on feature. If you decide to use that to add on insurance as an option for an individual, this will allow you to compare the fields in order to see if someone actually purchased when they were supposed to. For instance, this one here, the flight manifest, is basically just showing what you might need for an airline. So it's going to show you the, so it's first going to ask you for the name of the trip, and you can pick. So then it's going to show you all of the current travelers, no one canceled, what their date of birth, their full name, and their gender in case you need that for a specific airline. So that's just another report that you have, you can download, send off to the airline. An allergy report, again, showing any specific allergies, and a passenger overview, just to show you across all of your trips, where are you at specifically with your individuals that are booked. So those are the features that are here right now. Another feature, as I mentioned, a few that will be upcoming. Another one that will be upcoming is the ability to place your specific passengers. So like if I go back to the trip and go to passengers, you'll see how everybody is grouped by their room type. So we will be able to eventually have the ability for you to create a rooming list in here. So you'll be able to put in, you'll have your number of rooms and you'll be able to put individuals into those set rooms. So that is another feature that will be coming into this app to make that easier on you as well. So then that's pretty much it where it stands right now. So again, this is just going to be an app for you to track your specific passenger data. If you do use WeTravel, like I mentioned, there is a direct connection that we already have turned on that will be able to take as soon as you have a customer booked. It will add the customer, and then it also will add the transaction. There are a few fields. For example, if I go to a passenger, there are a few fields that we are working with WeTravel to pull in for you. So those things that you add specifically to your trip, those different questions, those are things that we are working with WeTravel to get more streamlined, but we can also upload that information for you. So with that being said, as far as a release date goes, we do have a few people who have already requested this app, so we are getting them set up and all of their data uploaded into the system. And then we will be able to, by request, get people set up in the app one by one. So that is kind of the release date for Passenger Manager as well. So if you are interested in this app and you are a current customer and you haven't already let us know, just let us know that you do want this app and whether or not you use WeTravel so we know how to get you all set up. All right, and I'm going to stop my sharing.
There's a question that we just had.
Sure.
Do they have to be signed up with WeTravel in order to be able to use Passenger Manager?
Not at all. Not at all. The only difference is that WeTravel is connected, so it would just allow you to not have to enter in so much data manually, but you can absolutely 100% just put in your passengers, put in your trips manually. Okay. You can absolutely do that.
That's fantastic. Okay, great. I think we have another question here.
Sure.
Oh, yeah, this is general. Do these coach and goes happen every Thursday? Yes, they do. Well, they will be. This is our first one. So they will be happening every Thursday. And we're planning on doing this and taking input from you as well. If there are things that you would like to see us cover, If there are items that you want to go over again, let us know, because we can go ahead and plan that into our future weeks. And we're going to take the information from you. What do you want to see us do? So don't hesitate to reach out to us. Don't hesitate to comment about what you would like to see. Again, ask us questions. That's what we're here for. And, I want to thank you, Christina, for letting us know more about Passenger Manager. It's a very exciting possibility, or a very exciting app that's going to be momentarily released, basically. So it's really nice to be able to have that feature. And the direct integration that we have with WeTravel is pretty amazing. So that way, they can basically stay in the GTO system, and all of that information will then be pulled up. So
absolutely.
That's going to be really fantastic. So any of you have any questions regarding our Passenger Manager app and any information about that? Let us know that now. If you also have any other questions about GTO, about our system, about how specific areas of GTO work, now's a perfect opportunity for you to send us some questions about that, because we're going to answer whatever questions you have for us this afternoon. If something happens that we do run out of time, I will make sure that we get back to you with answers to questions that you may have. So please feel free, ask away, and we will make sure to answer however many questions you have. So while you're doing that, I think another area for us to go over, we have some new features, or some features that are being rolled out and adjusted in Supplier Manager as well. And I know information for our users that are out there already. You already received email and information about how to put in and track your trade show appointments. So, if you have any questions about that, let us know. I can actually, let me see if I can share my screen now. And I'm going to see if I can go ahead and show you a little bit more about that. And okay, so here we are. I'm on our test environment right now. So if I were to go into Supplier Manager, which is where all of our suppliers are located. And for some reason, my screen is frozen. Bear with me one more moment. Hi, everybody.
We get glitches too.
Yep.
It happens.
Okay. So when you're in Supplier Manager, you can see at the very top of it, there's a place where it shows trade show appointments. You can manage your trade show appointments during an actual trade show. If you were to click on this, it gives you the opportunity then to put a new appointment in. Like if you want to preload all of your appointments for a specific trade show, you can do that under this very portal. And all of this information would then appear to you. So this is your record of your appointments. Now, the nice thing about this is once you go ahead and put all of this information in, if there is not a supplier in here that is under that name, you would click this little box. If you need to collect correct information, there are places where you can do this. What all of this does is it will target our team of accuracy gurus, noting that they have some information that they need to either add to the system or find out product and pricing information. It also has an area here where you can add an attachment. So if you're getting new pricing, you can go ahead and put that pricing on here for an attachment, and then we can go ahead and and make sure that everything is entered properly for you. So this is really a nice record for you to have then of all of your appointments. So this one is marked as CITA 2021. You can also put in, you can create a new trade show. So if you have other trade shows that you want to put in, just so you have these records in one location, you can do that right here on this field. So, just a little overview, and I know that we've sent that information out already, but I wanted to, make sure that you did have that as well. We had a question that, is this recorded so that our whole team can watch this at a later date? I'm going to throw this out here to our content person, Stevie G. I'm almost positive that it is, but Stevie, if you can let me know if this is actually something that we can go ahead and post, I will let you all know that as soon as I hear back. And, it would be a great resource for you guys all to have, I'm sure. So also, another feature as we wait for that question or that answer to come in. I'm going to share my screen one more time. We're going to go back to Supplier Manager yet again, because many of you have been asking about putting notes in. So let's go into a supplier. So I'm here in Supplier Manager. Whether you get into the supplier at this point or as you're adding other features into it, but if you're going into supplier, I'm going to look up Planet Hollywood. Once I bring up Planet Hollywood, you will now notice that there is an area in here that says add information. This gives you an opportunity to add any notes that you want to put into a supplier. Now, these notes are only going to be visible to the people in your own company. So this gives you a chance to put your own personal notes into a supplier record. How does this work? Well, if I click add information, the first thing that you're going to have to do is select a user or a record creator, and that's going to give you your name and your company. That's what's going to define this as your information. So that's why it's yours and yours only. It's not going to be shared with anybody else. So that's going to show that this is our test environment, which is group experience. This note is only going to appear to anybody who's with group experience. It's not going to appear with anybody else. Now, one thing that we are working on right now is adding different note types. You can have a general note. You can have a note that you would mark as a tour director note, a driver note, an accounting note, or something that says do not use. All of these, basically, the general note's going to just appear. The tour director note would travel then through to be included with any tour director who is taking a group to that actual supplier. Same thing with driver notes. Accounting notes would go through to the accounting department that is using this specific supplier. And again, this is only for your company. Your specific company would be able to do this. If you decide you never want to use a supplier again, you can hit do not use. And then anytime somebody from your company pulls that up as a choice, it will specifically say do not use. And in some cases, it won't even pull up. So we're in the process of getting all of those targeted and tagged, so you know that. But, let's say, for example, I'm going to put in a general note, basically saying order the Impossible Burger. And then you can also put on here when you want, like if you want an expiration. So if you've got a group that's going through, or you want to use this note only through the rest of this season, you can put on a date that it will expire on December 31st. And then after December 31st, that note would disappear from your system. So if I hit save and close, and I go back, then what will end up showing up, there are two notes. I did a test note earlier today, And then there's another note that says order the Impossible Burger. So these notes can live in there. And again, these are only going to live for your company. So this gives you a chance in all of the suppliers that we're maintaining, it gives you a chance to actually put notes in that your company and your team can see. So let's see here. Back to questions. It says here, I believe that we can get a recording of this week's Coach and Go if you would like. We will also have more tools available in the near future that will help you learn the system. So that's coming from our internal team. So that's good to know as well. Opening it up for other questions. If you have questions about any other processes that go along with Group Travel Odyssey and GTO's system, please reach out now. Let me know, and we will go ahead and answer whatever questions that you guys may have. If there are processes that you don't quite understand, if you don't know where to find certain things, by all means, ask away. We're here for you. Christina, are there other things in the pipeline that you can give us any clues about, anything coming up soon? Since you are involved with development more than I am. It would be,
Sure. There's always things that I'm thinking about. You should see my idea book, as I call it. You know, I have things I want to do all the time. My list keeps getting longer. So one of the things that you will see happening soon, and I'm sure once we're ready, we will do a Coach and Go on it as well, is Trip Manager and Group Accounting are getting kind of a little bit of a revamp. We're going to make it a little bit easier to navigate. So when you get to the app, you can see where you want to go. So instead of, we've had a few comments of where do I start? So we're trying to answer that question for you. So you're going to see some more buttons. So start liking buttons because we're putting them everywhere. So you're going to see more of those in the Trip Manager system and also in Group Accounting. Those are going to be one of the next things coming up the pipeline. So those are probably the next biggest updates. And, you know, we always like feedback too. So us in the development team. So we do have our lists of things that we want to accomplish. But if there's something you're hoping for, these Coach and Goes, that's a great time to let us know that there's something you would like to see. There's a lot of flexibility in the GTO system. There's also, when we've built this Passenger Manager app, there's different things that we can integrate with possibly. So some of those doors are starting to open more and more. So let us know if you have feedback. Again, these are a great time to do that so we can kind of get some ideas.
Absolutely. And one of the things that Christina brought up is that, you know, a lot of these buttons and stuff that are being put into Trip Manager and Group Accounting are because of feedback from our users. We always stress our community atmosphere. We always stress the fact that we rely on you to give us feedback. We rely on you to let us know how things are going. If you have ideas, if you have information that you want to see that you're not quite seeing in a way that you need it, let us know that, because this is a very flexible system. And, you know, we'd be more than happy to tool around and try to figure out the ways to make this work best for you. You know, there are so many customizable features involved with GTO system that, you know, I'm sure you may have just scratched the surface. I know most of you have only been using this system for a very short period of time. So there are a lot of things that you probably aren't aware of yet. And that's another reason that we're here. So, you know, we want to make you comfortable with the system. We want to give you an opportunity to help improve the system as well. So as part of the GTO community, feel free to always reach out and feel free to share your ideas with us, because one of the nice things about having this system is that the upgrades and the updates happen and we roll them out. Keith sends out that weekly GTO message to all of our users that lets you know what has happened this week, what you should be taking a look at. He also lets you know that we have received new pricing from different suppliers. And so we want to keep you all informed of news and updates and things like that. But as well, keep us informed. Let us know what you need. Let us know what you would like to see in the system as well. So, do we have any other questions? You know what? I have a quick question, and I hope I'm not putting you on the spot here. Christina, would you mind showing one of the questions that I get asked whenever we're doing demos or whenever we're training as well? Can you possibly go into a test that or something that may be in either Trip Manager and Group Accounting and show us the buttons in that field that will allow you to move from Group Accounting to Trip Accounting or to Trip Manager and back again? Because I think a lot of times people are hitting their back button. Sometimes they're going all the way back to the trip. So I don't know if you could possibly show us quickly how that works again, because it's a really great shortcut feature, and I'm sure it will save some people some time.
Yeah, and with that being said too, those buttons aren't I mean, I shouldn't put myself on the spot here, but aren't crazy difficult to build. So if you put in a help desk request because you want a button somewhere that goes back to a place that you tend to navigate back to a lot, just let us know. I can't say all buttons will work, but most of them we can build those navigational back and forth buttons. So just, let us know if there's one that you are looking for as well. All right, let me share my screen again. All right. Is everybody seeing my quick base then?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. All right. So I did show it in Passenger Manager, but I'll just show you quick again too. So these colorful things those are all your buttons. They all have colors. Typically the color matches to the tab that it goes with. So you'll see these go to Trip Manager and go to Group Accounting buttons. So we can go to Trip Manager. So in Trip Manager, there's a couple of them. There's a Go to Group Accounting. There is a brand new Go to Passenger Manager button. So those are there. And then one of the other places that you'll see them is on a Trip product. So on Trip products, if we open one up, you will also see one here that says Go to Group Accounting product. So then if I click it, you'll now see that it goes to that same product on the same trip, but in the Group Accounting app. So this is a really helpful button for if you need to then go back to Trip Manager. You can edit, you can do all of your counts in here for this product. And then let's say then you want to put in your payment schedule. So you put in all of your counts. Now I want to go to Group Accounting. And then now I can put in my payment schedule that I need to keep track of for this one. So that's one helpful button. And then if we go back to the trip here, then we also have this Go to Group Accounting button that will show you the same trip in Group Accounting. And then also one that goes to Sales Manager. Oh, it's probably just because this specific test trip just might not be in that app, but that's how you would go to Sales Manager through that route. Go back to Trip Manager. So you can see there's a few different ones. Typically the ones that go to a different app are going to be right at the top of your trip main screen. So if you are one of our current customers or you have demoed the system, you might be familiar that most of our pages will have these tabs under here. So again, one of the things that you'll see on our workings with Trip Manager and Group Accounting is trying to make these forms as short as we can or a little bit more organized maybe. But so these tabs here, they all show you different things underneath. So the tab that the page where it has all those tabs, those were usually where you have your buttons. So that's typically where you see those jump to a different app buttons. Now we're back to Passenger Manager.
That's really cool. That's the nice thing to see though too, is that you, instead of having to go all the way back to the trip each time, you can navigate through the apps in the system much more efficiently. You don't have to go back to the trip. You can just click on those buttons and actually basically stay in the same place that you are or in the same product, and you can just go between, the operations side of the thing of that product and the accounting side of that product. So that's a really cool feature. So we've got a bit more time. So do we have any other questions about any other sections of GTO? If anybody has any questions on the Sales Manager app or Trip Manager or Group Accounting or Supplier Manager, by all means, please reach out, ask us, and we'll be more than happy to answer those. One of the questions that we get asked quite frequently too is this going to be able to track our money? Is this going to be able to track how much money we're bringing in as opposed to how much we're going to have to pay out? Christina, are there ways that this is being tracked in the system?
Yes. So one of the things that you'll see in Trip Manager is it will show you the amount you budgeted right now and the amount that you actually are going to have to pay out. And then in the Group Accounting app, you'll be able to see the amount that you actually paid. So from that, another feature that is coming down the line is the ability to conduct an audit. So you'll be able to take all of that information into one location and be able to see where you either profited off of something or you had a loss. And then overall. So that is something that is coming down the line. Right now, there is one field that does kind of give you basically an estimation. It's not foolproof, but I'll share my screen quick to show you where that's located in Group Accounting. All right, so if we go to the Group Accounting trip, so this field right here, and if you've gone through a demo with me, I've probably pointed this out to you. This current account balance field is tells you it's the amount received from the group less the amount paid to suppliers. So this is kind of your running total of how much you actually have made off of this trip. So that is one thing right now that you do have access to in Group Accounting if you're trying to look per trip to make sure you're not in the negative. That is something that you can use. But that is something that is coming again with audits to be able to have a little bit better of a delineation for your accounting purposes to see how you're doing about that.
That's excellent. And also you pointed out something very, very interesting and I think very helpful. Throughout the GTO system, there are little information circles. So if you're ever not sure what's happening and there's one of those little circles there, hover over it and it's going to let you know what that actual field does. So there are places throughout that you'll see those information circles. There are also little black squares that if you click on them, they'll open up a list of instructions as to what you need to do in that general area. So there are ways as you're using the system even to get help as you're going through. And also don't forget that if you go into either Supplier Manager or into the help desk, there are areas where you can click and get the training. So you can get online training sections that are actually on your GTO system right now. Some of them have videos, some of them don't have videos, but they're, it's great little pieces of explanation that if you forget, what do I do next? How do I go in and do this? How do I go in and do that? You can pull up that section. You can click even on a little video and it will give you maybe a minute and a half, 2 minutes, 3 minutes worth of a little refresher on how to do specific things. So our online training guide is live. It's there for everybody to use in the help desk. So don't be afraid to go in there and try it. And again, as we've always said, don't be afraid to reach out. Reach out to us if you have questions. We're here to help you. We're part of that community that's going to help you become more efficient and build your business and do all the fun things that we're all here for. We all love travel, so we all want to make it an easy process, take away the pain points, and allow you the freedom to work wherever you need to or wherever you would like. So if you want to travel on the trips with your groups, you can still take your laptop and stuff with you and actually do business, and you can still continue to work while you're traveling and having fun. So we have a very good question here. Somebody would like to request a group type for land only or ticket only. So that is something that we will keep track of, and we'll present that to our development team and see if we can put that in for group types, because there are always, people always have different types of groups that they're traveling with. So yeah, if you have those requests for us, send them our way, and we will get the ones built that we possibly can. So don't ever hesitate to contact us with that stuff. So I'm leaving myself a note right now so I don't forget. Do we have other questions as we're going through? I guess not.
Guess not. Guess I did a fantastic job. So did you, Jim.
Yeah, you really did. Just to let you know, as I said, we're going to be doing these on a weekly basis. So next week, we're coming back again at 1 o'clock. We will, 1 o'clock Eastern time, I should say, because I know we have people joining us from California and all across the country. So we will be back here again next week. We're going to be answering questions. Probably at the beginning of the week, we will let you know what we're going to be focusing on. Because again, we like to present something new and something different every week. We're going to be doing something like that. And then also bring your questions to us. So if there are things that you'd like for us to go through, if there are items that you don't quite understand, or if it's not working the way that you thought, let me know if, what you want to do, and we will answer those questions. I'm getting another one in here. Oh, goodness, that was quick. So for the person who asked, land only and ticket only have now been added into group types. So sometimes our development team is faster than we would like. We've got really fantastic network engineering people. So that's in there now. So the land only and ticket only group types are now in the system. Boy, that was quick. So anybody else have anything you want us to add right now? I mean, we'll, again, we would like to say that we're going to be that fast with getting back to you with all of these requests. The ones that are easy to add, of course, we'll get those in there as soon as we possibly can. Some of them may take a little more time, but again, don't ever be afraid to ask us for them. So, Christina, do you have anything else that you'd like to add before we sign off this episode?
I don't think so. Just, I guess, a shout out to any of our current customers out there that are using WeTravel and have reached out to me. I should be reaching out to you probably soon about when you're going to be able to get into Passenger Manager and get all your data in there, and what steps we need to take to get your current trips in there. So, again, like I mentioned, we kind of have to go, company by company that has wanted the app, just with all of the data dump that needs to happen. So, so that is something that is coming up. So just kind of we're coming, we're going to do it. So.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much. And from all of us at Group Travel Odyssey, we want to thank you for all being users. We want to thank those of you who are interested in finding out more to become users. By all means, reach out to us. And again, I'm going to put my email address in here. If you need any other information, if you would like to schedule a demo, if there's any other information that you would like, even after this or before our next Coach and Go, if you want to reach out to me with any questions that you may have, my email is on here right now. It's jim@gtonetwork.com. And I'll be more than happy to either answer those questions myself, or I will forward them to the proper people that have much more experience with the area of expertise that you're going to be asking about. So thank you very much for joining us today. And we hope to see you again next week. Thank you again, and have a fantastic week and weekend. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.